Okay, IDS 301. Let's dig into module 6. Um, so it's later in the day, but okay, should we talk about maps first? Let's do that. Okay, maps was never meant to be a punitive exercise. Um, Maps is an important skill set for an interdisciplinarian because remember, everyone in this class is in interdisciplinary studies. Um, and you're not in a business class, biology class, communications class, etc. So there's skill sets for interdisciplinarians that we talk about, task you with, and one of them is mapping the disciplines. And Petrie talked about that in that reading we did earlier. So I understand there's a struggle. Many students are struggling with it, and it's okay as long. And well, I shouldn't say it's okay, but it's okay in terms of having it be a challenge for you, but also not having you give up. It's not there to stress you out, to completely stress you to the point of being immobilized. It's not there to make you hate me that much, okay? So I try to mitigate these things because, again, as I've said since the start, and I do to all my classes, my goal isn't to bury you with stuff and show you who's boss. My goal is to get you out of this course learning some important points about interdisciplinary studies. So, having said that, I've just called a moratorium on maps. Basically, I've shut it down. I'm not It's not open right now. Maps is not open for business. I wanted to get a moratorium because it was hard for me to get caught up. I mean, I was doing people's map one, and then some people were turning their map twos right away, and I didn't get a chance. They didn't watch the video for map ones, and it was just a circular. Just it was bad. So I said I scored everything that was there, and I put a moratorium. I will reopen it in a couple days. Say Wednesday, I'll reopen maps. The new due date for the maps is Sunday, October 3rd, before midnight. Hopefully that works out for you. Uh, I'm willing to go longer, but you're going to have to tell me before Sunday. Okay? Reason is, like I said, I don't want an excuse for this to be that there wasn't enough time, it was too stressful, what have you. I don't want to give you that excuse, sorry. Okay? Because this is where the rubber meets the road. I use that way too much. So whether or not you've taken 18 credits in each of your concentrations or no credits in each of your concentrations, doesn't matter. Okay, because at some point, I'm sorry, this lighting sucks. At some point, you're going to need to explore your concentration, your interest. Okay, my glasses broke. I just don't like that glare. So you have to explore your discipline. It's a discipline, trust me. If, if it's a concentration, then there's everything that you need is out there by the thousands. Okay, so academic rigor, that's what you need to do. You need to. I'm going to go and use what I told you not to use, the dictionary, but okay, I'm just going to Google it. But academic rigor. So you know what I mean. I want you to do the work, do the legwork. If you're not using the ASU library, why aren't you using the ASU library? And if you've used the ASU library and are just not happy with what you're finding, okay, go to Google, okay? But be very careful. Google, you can obviously find the trashiest of trash to the highest level of thinking in quantum physics and everything in between. ASU Library is your safe space. You can filter, expand your results, filter for peer-reviewed journal articles, filter for full text online. You're there. Google, you come up with, I'll be blunt. the maps were so bad in most cases that I didn't even get a chance to critique the sources. So they could have been much worse. All of these sources that I'm seeing that are just websites, they're just about, there's no author, there's some other school, or this or that. No, those are not scholarly sources. And again, I'm sorry you haven't learned that to get to this point. I'm sorry some of you are seniors and haven't been exposed to any of this. It blows my mind. Okay. Yes, I learned it at 52, but I was like sophomore at least, at most. Okay. Um, so you got to explore. You got to think. You got to use your brain power not to get spoon fed and to get the academic rigor to find it, to be creative in your mind. Now, there are areas where the paper template comes up short. I'm not a fan of it. Again, I'm going to say again, say again, say again, say again. Subfields. I want them to be related disciplines. I want to be related disciplines. It's easier to figure out. Disciplines are capitalized. So it's not a sub underneath fields. I want to do related. Okay. And if I had a chance to change it on you, I would. Related disciplines. Okay. Again, I don't care if they're above, below, sideways, whatever. Okay. For business, you drop it down a notch to something more specific. It's totally up to you. If it's a discipline, if you get a degree in it, and if you want to do it, you do it. Okay. Um, I I want to take a deep breath on this. I want people to watch the video I put out Saturday. I want you to look at. I'm trying to find a better sample to post. Um, Trust me though, I've had a few come in that I've graded 75 out of 75 already. I've had a few come in that I've graded 70 out of 75. So they're being done now, okay? It might have taken shaking the tree a little bit to bear fruit, but it's working. If you don't know how to cite and format an APA, why are you guessing? Okay. There's no such thing as a center justified works cited list. Hanging paragraph does not mean a regular paragraph. I've explained this so many times, my head hurts. This is why I lose patience, because I've given you the Purdue OWL, where all the answers are to go look at. I've given you the examples on that page in Canvas to show you how to do them. I've talked to students individually and as a group in lectures, videos. I've posted samples and examples. And I did a special video on Saturday with more information. I just don't know what to do anymore. Your university level students, and the expectation is very reasonable. Very reasonable. Now, even when I say you're not formatting per APA, trust me, you're not formatting per anything else either. You're just not formatting it in anything. You're just making it up because you think it doesn't matter, and it does, and I've explained it. So I will, like I said, start opening this up. Okay. And you can thank a couple of your peers, courageous young men in these cases, who came forward and gave me a call when I offered to take their call, and laid in wait to pounce on them and get my pound of flesh. So you guys, I really appreciate it. You guys took the heat for a lot of your fellow students, and I think that where am I at here? Yeah, so shout out to Matt Cummings, and shout out to, if I forget you, John Neely. Guys really took the heat. Good job, guys. Um, so they communicated, we got things cleared up, and I like doing it that way. I'm way too late on this. So the maps, I will open it up on Wednesday when I get up early, and you can start submitting stuff. Start submitting the Easter eggs. Due date is Sunday before midnight. If you need more time for that, you better tell me on Saturday. If you tell me on Sunday, I'm going to say no. It's not a trick question. I'm not dealing with it. Sunday's NFL. I'm watching it. Sunday's a day of rest. Okay. So send me your questions, send me your comments, concerns. I'm not going to review your paper. I'm not going to pre-score it. But when you submit it, guess what? Submit it earlier than later, do a decent job, and maybe I'll let you submit it again. Okay? I want you to be successful in mapping your discipline, mapping your concentrations. That's what I want. I want you to do that with an appropriate scholarly level, university level written paper that's organized and formatted that you can be proud of, believe it or not. You can be proud of it. You can't tell me, some of you that submit these papers, that you're proud of them. Stop taking the easy way to the academic rigor, okay? So right now, maps, I guess I got 26 maps, 1 in, 9 maps, 2 in. There's zeros abounding, just people can see them. You can redo them, get ready to resubmit them, ask me questions about them. I explained on all of them. So again, there's a bunch out there. All right. So I left everybody messages on Saturday saying I'd put a video in. I'd said that on Saturday, Sunday. People still didn't watch the video, not you. But they didn't watch a video. I left messages on this one saying, you got to watch the video, okay? Easter egg number 1 is mapping disciplines is an IDS skill set. Mapping disciplines is an IDS skill set. Okay, that's why we got to learn it. Okay, module 6 is worth 200 points. That's a big one. So that's worth 20% of the class and 1/7 of the class as far as modules go. So we got a readings page that is very comprehensive. That means there's a lot there. Okay, so let's take a look at it here. So only 2 modules to go. Learning materials, readings. You got Tanner's chapter 9, 10, and 11. That's about 26 pages. You got Benson's 5 arguments against interdisciplinary studies. Thomas Benson is a big IDS guru that we've had, scholar, but he takes the devil's advocate position and writes about why we suck. Why does IDS suck? Why it shouldn't be around? This is why it's bad. He does that. And then Newell, Bill Newell, who I showed you a picture of last week or Saturday, Bill Newell, by the way, journals, again, journals are not articles. Anyways, okay, Bill Newell responded. The case for interdisciplinary study, a response to Professor Benson's 5 arguments. It's a great back and forth, devil's advocate. I told you the story. I was in the BIS program, same thing, and I went to a family reunion, and my cousin and my cousin-in-law, who were big shot academics, doctors, and politicians, professors. Oh, you're going back to school, I heard. Yeah, I went back to school. So, were you taking that interdisciplinary? I go, yeah. You go, oh, that's where you throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. Those are his exact words. And you know what I said? I said, well, the jerk store called and they're running out of you. Did you get that, Seinfeldians? Because I had nothing. So I want you to have something. I want you to have that elevator pitch. I want you to have that defense. I want you to know what's coming at you against IDS and how you respond to those charges. Okay, then we got an interview. Michael Price-Dia talks to the former student, Dr. Price-Dia, who I hang around with a lot. And there's an article in here that was done for the journal, for the Alpha Iota Sigma National Honor Society of Interdisciplinary Studies. And he talks about some of the state of the field. It's very interesting. And if you know Dr. Price-Dia, you know he's well spoken on this topic. Bohm on communication. That's Price-Dia's also. He is a Bohm fan. And Bohm is a physics, I forget what they call it, but he's smart as heck. On Dialogue is really good. Read that one. Then you've got a couple options, websites I want you to check out. The Association for Interdisciplinary Studies, which I'm a member, and you could be a member too. And the International Network for the Science of Team Science, very interesting. And we have a lot of close connections to both of those. So I'd like you to check those out. Then we're going to get into let me just check. Okay, so Easter egg number 2 is always be ready to defend IDS. I was going to confuse it there by saying ABCs, always be closing. No, always be ready to defend IDS. be out there in your ready positions, you law enforcement people. De-escalation, just ready position here, defensive posture, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so discussion 6.1, IDS debate. This is where you're going to call into play what you just read about the debate, and you're going to read through that, and you're going to answer the question, should Acme University develop an IDS program? Why or why not? You're going to say, no, they shouldn't because the professors suck. Well, one in particular, right? I'm going to get beat up, aren't I? Okay, so, and then comment to 2 of your classmates, 40% possible. You got this. All right, then there's discussion 6.2, no response required. Dialogue listening with awareness. This is what about the Bohm article, okay? Quantum physics, things like that. It's cool stuff. Check it out. 350 words minimum. Post a discussion, okay? Then we have the paper. The paper. Personal narrative paper. It's going to be a kind of contrarian discussion I'm going to have with you right now because going back to the maps, I'd like you to get rid of yourself. Most academic papers should not have I, me, my, we in them. I talked about this a couple of days ago. No I, me, my, we. Okay, because scholarly papers are not about you. They're not about you. And again, I usually have to shock some students and say, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's a big place, right? But it's the same type of nobody cares as when you went to high school and there was, oh, kids, read the biography of Ernest Hemingway here. Great. Well, there's 700 pages here. And guess what? The author never puts himself in this book. He never said, I'm writing this book because I really wanted to study Hemingway, and I think Hemingway is so cool, and Hemingway's got problems with it. And then we were looking at Hemingway, and we thought that Hemingway, and now I'm going to tell you about Hemingway's middle age. No, it's not in there, right? See how weird that sounds when you write this? So you're not, don't write from this, little kiddie standpoint anymore. You're in the game. You're playing. You got the keys. You got inside the house. Academia, here you are. You're like with this guy, with Jeffrey Myers here. You are inside. Do you think this book has any I, me, and my in it? No. Is this one? Yes, because Tanner writes that way. But typically papers, no I, me, and my. You're writing about maps. I'm not asking you to write maps and tell me what you think about your program. Don't care. We're writing about the topic. Don't care why you chose something. Don't care at all. And it's not bad. It's not like I'm being mean, right? Okay. Do you really care what I'm gonna do after the video? No. Why? I don't want you to care. But you know what I mean. We can only invest a certain amount of things. So I'm trying to make that point. Now I'm gonna flip it and say the personal narrative paper. Wow, guess what? You get to talk about yourself. I, me, my. Bring it. I'm asking you to. Okay. There are specific questions in here. Answer them. What am I good at? What am I not so good at? Yes, you got to bring yourself into that. You see the difference? Maps, there is none of those questions, okay? It doesn't say name your 3 favorite theories. Okay? So take a look. There is a sample here, again, in lieu of a rubric. It's only 50 points. So the sample is it's good 6 pages. No works cited list. Nothing to cite. Yourself. That's it. Okay. Take a look at it. It's a personal narrative. It's a narrative. Look at there are paragraph breaks. Okay. So it should be fun to write. Writing about yourself is fun, right? I think so. And then that's due Saturday. And then Sunday is the quiz and the maps. So the quiz is chapters 9, 10, and 11. Also, read the Interdisciplinary Studies Works interview with Prisdia, the On Communication with Bohm. Okay, the quiz has 15 multiple choice followed by 15 true false. You have 40 minutes to complete the quiz. Actually, no, you have 60 points to do in 40 minutes. But do you want to know how many questions there are? Please number them. Yeah, they did. Good. 30 questions, 2 points each, and 30 questions, 60 points, 40 minutes. I got a little bit, minute 15, minute 20 seconds, question or some piece of cake. You got this. I think that's it. We're at 20 minutes. So I'll give you Easter egg number 3 in a minute. So let's get that maps looking good. Here's the deal. If you submitted your maps already, and if I scored it, you can redo it and submit it again in the same place. If you resubmitted a second one, and I scored it, you can submit another one. I didn't score anybody 3 times, but if I did and they really want to, submit it again. Okay? I'm asking you, what do you want me to do? You tell me. I'm going to maintain my standards, but I'm going to give you every single opportunity to meet that, exceed that, and get the score that you want. Yeah, if you get 65, you might be, I'm good with that. Heck, I'd be good with that, right? I'm shocked at how many students nowadays got to get to 75 out of 75. Just as long as we're going to lock her down on Sunday, that's it, Sunday night, right? By the way, there was an interesting article in the Inside Higher Ed. I always like to show you that I have it, just to prove to you that I have it. See, there it is. Okay. Inside Higher Ed. Wow, what did I do there? It's like a disco dance from the 70s. I probably put my fingerprints on the camera part, right? I don't know. Okay. Well, Inside Higher Ed, article called Too Smart to Fail. Now, this is from 2016. They tweeted it yesterday for some reason, trending. It's pre-COVID, obviously. One of my engineering students came to see me recently asking to drop a class late. That was not an unusual request, and since it was shortly after the deadline, I was prepared to approve it. But before I did, our conversation went right to the heart of an issue I suspect many bright college students are facing. Fear of failing to be perfect. Ideally, an effortless perfection versus the joy of learning. Why am I so bright? The student explained that she had done poorly on her first midterm exam. When I asked her why she did poorly, she responded, now this one I had to hold on to my chair. I underestimated how much effort it would take. I thought I could get an A without studying. We'll come back to that. Though she believed she could still put in effort and raise her grade before the end of the term, she wanted to drop the course so she could retake it and get an A. The kicker was the class was not required. It was Russian literature. God, it's what my kids take it. She did not want to do it. But here's the deal. Let me hear that again. I underestimated how much effort it would take. I thought I could get an A without studying. Is there anybody in the class right now that thinks they can get an A without studying? I think that's an absurd statement, to be honest with you. And then the issue on this article appears to me that students are too focused on their grades and they don't learn enough. When students focus their attention on grades and how they are performing, learning may not result. Well, I think you got to study to learn. I think you come to college to learn. I know I did. I certainly learned a heck of a lot. You got to be willing to learn, open to learn, and you got to understand you don't know what you don't know, right? I know there's plenty I don't know yet. But you really have to study, and you really can't overdo it. You got to understand what your limit is. Okay, that it's all well and good, but I just caught that. I was like, wait, what? So it's not that transactional where, hey, I paid my 10 grand, give me that year semester towards my degree. No. Then there's another article, how to build resilience for high school and college. Obviously, it seems more younger tune, but it talks about resilience in adverse situations. Very important. I'm going to include these links in the announcement today. I know I'm forgetting stuff because my mind's been racing for 3 days on this maps thing because it's really important. I really want you to do it. That's why that was all that was to do for that week. And I get it. You need more time, and that's fine with me. Get a hold of me again. We can set up calls. I'm totally cool. I'm not yelling. I'm not mad. Matt and Robert, don't say a thing. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Uh, so, I'm sorry, John and Matt. Okay, you guys, thanks. So, it's all good. Uh, Third Easter egg is okay, it's not always okay to use I, me, and my. It's not always okay to use I, me, and my. That's Easter egg number 3. All right, I'll see you later. See you down the road. Forks up.